Hey all, I'm Satish here. Today let's look at another important aspect of embedded system design. So that is with the based component of it. If you look at any embedded system products right now, so what they'll do is they generally are some way connected to the web. Either they're transmitting some data to the web or they're collecting some information from the web. So this is a very important aspect of it. In the hardware section, I will show you how to transfer data to the web. So, but for that to happen, I have to first set up a web service. So which can receive the data from the hardware and store it into a database and show it in a give a response and also show the data in a website. So we will look into that starting today. There are multiple platforms which we can use. So I'm from a Windows background, so I will use a .NET framework. So for that, first thing we have to do is to buy a web service. So there are multiple kind of services. So primarily there will be a shared hosting. That is what we are going to start off with, and there is a VPS, that is a virtual private server. So there you will not be given a physical computer, but you will be given a virtual computer, and there is a dedicated hosting where they will give a full-fledged PC dedicated for you. Dedicated hosting is kind of expensive, VPS comes in between, and the shared hosting is the cheapest. So ideally VPS is the best because you can run Windows application on it. Let's not get into it, I'll show you as we go ahead. So right, we will buy a shared hosting and see how we can set it up. So I generally have been using GoDaddy for some time. So they're pretty good, their service is really good and their customer support is also really good. So once you come here, let me sign up, create an account. Let me go with Google. So once you have registered, let me sign in with that. I don't have any product, so let's buy one Windows hosting. So let's go to their home page. Let's type godaddy.com. So they have hosting here. In hosting, we will do web hosting. So basically, you need a place where you can have your database and upload all your HTML or .NET files. So that we have to buy that service. It is called as a web hosting. So here, so this is for a Linux based. By default, they show Linux based. So we are going to use ASP.NET platform. So here there are multiple single one website. It not, so it doesn't have any database. So this has one website, 10 MySQL databases. So we will use MySQL database in our application. It's a very simple and widely used database. Let's go ahead with that. And this is in Deluxe we have unlimited storage, unlimited website. Basically here, for example, one website means if I buy exploringembeddedsystems.com, so that means I cannot add another website called as some exploring.com or something. Or this is only for one website. And the cost difference between these two is not much, so it is better to go ahead with this. So I think this and this, the difference is you can only have 5 MySQL database. That is more than enough. Let me add to cart. Let me go for 1 year. Website backup, no, I don't want it. This is SSL certificate. It's kind of expensive, like if you see compared to your hosting, so it is 350 rupees per month. SSL itself is around 330 rupees per month. Right now we will not go with SSL. So let me, yeah. So we have to buy a domain. So you have to buy a domain so that you can see the front end, and I think they will use this as a link. They will use this domain as a primary domain for our hosting that we are going to buy. systems.com. Make sure that you have typed your spelling correct. Once I had misspelled something and bought it, but luckily they have a refund policy if you cancel it immediately. So.com, let me submit. So it should be available, and it's free. I think because we are buying the hosting, they're giving it for free. exploringembeddedsystems.com.in. Let's go with select and continue. Okay, now complete purchase. So I think that is done. Let's go to my account. It is still not reflecting here. Maybe it will take some time. Let's just check our order history whether it's been ordered. Yeah, it's been ordered. I think it will take a little bit of time. To log in again, GoDaddy and my accounts. So generally, if you are just logged in, if you go here, my products will be there. You can come in through that, and if you see, there is a domain, and this is a domain that is exploringembeddedsystems.com and web hosting Telex. So this is our hosting package that we have bought. So just let's set it up. So pick your domain. So this is a domain that we have bought. So if you have bought multiple ones, any one of them you can select. So this will be our primary domain to this hosting service. Choose a data center. I will use Asia. Okay, let's wait for a few minutes and see. It has set up the web hosting. So let's go to the dashboard. So this is the IP of the server. So this is not dedicated to you. It will be like shared between lot of people who have purchased this shared hosting. So account login, Lex, contaction, reset account. This plus is a point which is an interface between you and the server that you have. So the plus is like an web interface between you and the server. Okay, now we have this. So now this should have been set up. So let me just check this. So there is a default page that GoDaddy have that should have come up. Okay, so this is a default page. So now you can edit it. For that, what you have to do here is show more. So there is a file explorer, file manager. So we can go here. So this is a file. It will be either default.aspx or index.html. It will be one of those files. So it is default.aspx. That is where this text has been written. Either you can edit it here. Generally, we don't edit it here. So we use a software called as FileZilla. So you can download it. It's already installed in my PC. So to log into that, you have to create a FTP user. Okay, now FTP user is for you to upload your files onto the directories which have been provided by the web hosting. Okay, so either or else you will have to come to File Explorer, come here, or else this FileZilla, I think it's, so this is a very commonly used FTP software. So you can transfer any file onto your server, or retrieve any file from your server, or delete it also. So for that, what you have to do here is FTP access. So you have to create a FTP user, so that you can give that credentials here and log into this files of this server. Let me create an FTP account. So FTP account name Satish Exploring Embedded System. Home directory. Basically, if you have created a subdirectory and you want to give access to only the subdirectory, you can give. Home directory, they will have access to all your files. This is like a C drive. Password. Read permission and write permission. I'm giving both. Yes, copy this. This will take a couple of minutes to create the FTP. It has been created. So let's sign in here. So the host is username. So basically, once you connect here, you should see this directory, the files. If you go to your web domains, this file manager, this and this should be the same. So and this will be inside HTTP docs. Sorry. So once you get into HTTP docs, this and this should match. Now default.axps, that is what we saw here. So this is a default page which the GoDaddy has created. So we can edit this. So we can go here, view or edit. So this is a HTML page. So let's so in future of something quite cool, let's write to welcome to exploring embedded system, and let's say www dot so let me save this. So once you save it, it will ask here, do you want to upload? I have uploaded. So next time I refresh this, I should get this. So now what we have done, we have set up a shared hosting. Then we have set up our domain exploringembeddedsystems.com, and we have seen how we can change the contents of the files. Hope you are able to follow that. There are multiple things that will, so you can add another domain. So if you buy another domain, like you can add it to this. Since if you remember in Dulex hosting, you could create as many domains you wanted. So once you have bought any domain, it will show up here automatically. So before that, you have to go and buy it there, or you can create a subdomain. ExploringembeddedSystem.com is the main domain. I can add a subdomain to this. Let me put it as subdomain.exploringembeddedSystem.com. So why subdomains is basically why I use it is, for example, data reception from the hardware. I'll have like receive data dot exploringembeddedSystem.com. Then if I want to have some APIs for your web pages, then I'll have api.exploringembeddedsystems.com, so that all of them don't get into the same page. It is not that you have to create subdomains, like all of them you can put it in your main domain itself. Only thing is the main domain will become a bit messy. So it's always better to create subdomains based on their use. So I'll just use example. So once this is created, this has to show up here because you have access to the root folder. When you created the FTP, you have access to the root folder. So you should be able to see it here once it is created. See, example.exploringembeddedsystems.com has come up. So if you see here, still creating. So once it's created, you should be able to see it in here. So this is like another domain by itself. Yeah, it is created. So if you come here, there's a preview here. So let's see. It will preview the website. So this is example.exploringembeddedsystems.com. If you come here, you should be able to see this also. Inside this, we are inside this domain, and HTTP docs is our primary domain. So this is a subdomain. So once it's set up, once the setup is complete, this should load up. Yeah, it has loaded. So you can have any number of subdomains like that. So this will be going parallel to our hardware, or I'll do these examples with a 4G modem, a 2G modem, and the ESP Wi-Fi module. I'll show you how to transfer data to this, and I also Visual Studio application that can receive data from the hardware, store it into the database. So now once this is done, the next thing that we have to do here is make a database. So here we will build a MySQL database. So we can add a database. Database name, let's keep it as general purpose. We keep the same database username also same. Password. User has all the databases within the selected subscription. Let's give full access. Related to, is it related to any site? Basically, if you relate it to any site, what will happen is it will only take requests from this, any application that is running in Exploring Embedded System. So basically any application that you drop here, only that will have access. Okay, from other, for example, if you write an application from a different server, this will not have access to this database. Not related to site means anybody can connect to this database. Only thing is they have to know what is the database path, username and password. So let's create our database. Username is greater than 16 characters. Okay, I think the limit is 16. So let's do it tracking. So we'll use this database for tracking which user has come, from where the web request came, from which hardware it had come. To track all this, let's use this. So we have created our first database. Okay, so now to log into the database, you can click here. So this is the database. Currently it does not have any tables. So I'll when we start writing our first application, I'll show you to how to create a table and all the SQL commands. So that's it with the first chapter. So let's just review what we have done. One, we have brought a domain exploringembeddedsystems.com, set up a shared hosting, then we installed FileZilla and connected to our shared hosting server, and we were able to make some changes on the landing page, that is exploringembeddedsystems.com, and we have created a database. In the next tutorial, let's see how to write and deploy our first web application.